The week leading up to Halloween, this only feels appropriate. In my Halloween Dies review, I call it Halloween Dies, not because evil died that night, but because a franchise did. But when reviewing the retcon that's part of the recent retcon, not the retcon that happened before that retcon, it's easy to get tunnel vision there. But I saw this comment in the comment section where someone said Halloween 1, 2, and H2O is their preferred trilogy, their preferred canon. And I was like, what a good idea. That's worth talking about. So sit back, relax, let's talk about the original Michael Myers retcon, Halloween H2O. In other videos where I've mentioned Halloween H2O, I always see that comment like, why are you calling it water? It's H20 or Halloween 20 years later. But nope.
Halloween H2O.
If epic movie trailer voice Don LaFontaine says it is, then it is. That is the philosophy I live my entire life by. Only helps me when it comes to movie titles, but all the same, I get it. It is weird though, right? Oh, H, Halloween, 20 years later. Water, why not? So Halloween H2O is the original Michael Myers retcon. It came out 20 years after the original Halloween, which is 20 years before the 40-year retcon that came out in 2018. Halloween H2O is closer to the release of the original Halloween than we are to Halloween H2O. Feel old with me, my friends, feel old. But whereas the 2018 Halloween wiped out everything except the first Halloween and Halloween 3, that could still happen. This one wipes out everything after Halloween 2. And yes, Halloween 3 could still happen. The point is Halloween 4, 5, and 6 wiped out, never happened. So it's Halloween 1, 2, and H2O. So that's the difference here with this retcon. Halloween H2O keeps Halloween 2, which introduced the lore that Laurie Strode and Michael Myers are brother and sister. So that's still in play for H2O.
My brother killed my sister.
Which I love. Like, that's a thing that sets H2O apart from the 2018 Halloween. Because there's actually a lot in H2O that was like, 2018 did that also, but H2O did do it first. Laurie Strode tormented by her past, and in the end, she faces Michael Myers. Happens in both movies. And this is Halloween springboarding off of Scream, the Scream culture, which is actually really interesting, or at least funny. Gives me a chuckle, the fact that Scream 1 mentions Michael Myers.
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters.
And in Halloween H2O, they're watching Scream 2. That's breaking the fourth wall's fourth wall. I don't think it's too far-fetched to see that Scream flavor in Halloween H2O. I mean, what Scream did was rejuvenate, revitalize the slasher genre, but it was really cool now to have your killer be a normal person who just lost it. Which is essentially what Michael Myers was in the beginning, so it all fit to be like, yeah, let's take him back to what he was in the beginning. That's actually a really cool thing to do now. Let's do it. And the Laurie Strode Michael Myers brother-sister connection you see in this movie. It's a thing that this movie actually heavily revolves around. It's a thing that the new movies just didn't have. You get a very different flavor with the two films. There's something haunting about Laurie Strode being a functioning alcoholic because she's traumatized by this past event, but this past event wasn't necessarily random. It's in the family. So it's not a possibility that Michael Myers is going to come back. It's almost a certainty at that point. That's fear on different levels, you know? There's an anxiety with Michael Myers possibly coming back, but he's not related to you. But there's a fear of certainty that this guy is definitely going to come back because he wants to kill his entire family, and I'm part of it. But I do feel Halloween H2O feels heavily edited. Most of the people who die in this movie either die off-screen or off camera. Sounds redundant, but what I mean is they either die in a scene that's not being shown on screen right there, they're dying in another room entirely, or they're getting stabbed off camera and you just hear the sound effects, but you don't see them dying. In any of those cases though, you do see the aftermath. You know, you see JGL with a big ol' skate through his face. See that horny pervy kid dead in the little elevator. Really, it was Laurie Strode's boyfriend, which is the only one I can actually think got a full stabbing while the shot was on him and he convulsed. It's actually one of the more violent deaths in the movie, though one of the least bloody. It's like they had a caveat, like you can have a lot of blood as an aftermath, or you can have someone convulse and die with a knife going into them, but not as much blood. You can still have blood. Also, side note, that's actor Adam Arkin. I say that because I legit in the movie theater thought he was George Clooney. Looks to me like they were trying to play up the tension in this movie over the gore, and I will say that there's some solid moments of tension in here. I don't always want to have my cake and eat it too, but in a horror movie where I feel like the scenario is you can have tension and gore, you can have your cake and eat it too, If I'm missing one, I feel the loss. Also has some pretty iconic Halloween movie moments, you know, Halloween movie imagery in this one movie. The scene where Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis are staring at each other through that door window. Scene where Michael Myers is coming down from the ceiling with one hand. I mean, dude, it's a pretty badass moment. I mean, he gets smacked in the shoulder with an axe immediately after that, but it's still a sweet scene. And this was the first movie that, should I give a spoiler warning for the, I'll talk about spoilers. Not that it matters, the movie's literally 24 years old. A spoiler warning is like a condom, better to have it, not need it, than need it, and not have it, so spoiler warning, you have been warned. Michael Myers was dead. I know they retconned it in the most dipshit way possible for Halloween Resurrection, but this is the movie I was like, there's no coming back from that. But if you end it here for this stretch of movies, this trilogy, this original retcon, it's pretty fulfilling. I like the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis for the last act, you know, busts the glass, gets the fire axe.
But this time, it's going to be a fight to the finish.
20 years before it would be this revolutionary idea in 2018. I guess I'll break down the continuities like this. If you watch Halloween 1 in 2018, that's actually a good 1-2 punch. It's a good start and sequel that's also the ending, and that's where it ends. It's actually pretty satisfying. But Halloween 1, 2, and H20, I think is a better trilogy than the new trilogy, which is a little unfair because the new trilogy, if you're looking at the story as a whole, the whole arc is a quadrilogy. But my point there is Halloween 1, 2, and H20 is more focused, more concise, and more fulfilling than the new movies were. But all in all, Halloween H20 is a fun time. A solid Halloween movie. It's a retcon that justified its retcon by giving the fans a fulfilling conclusion to Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. But most importantly, it knew what it was. It knew it was a Halloween slasher flick. Be a Halloween slasher flick. Also to Halloween H20's credit, and I always try to give credit to this when a movie threads the needle and does this right. It's about 90 minutes long. That's perfect. And I think H20 is a great time. No alcohol required. All right, so Halloween H20. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or how does this stack up to the new retcon? What's your favorite Halloween movie timeline? You can just say 3. That's fair. But whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.